Welcome to Sudbury Sports Unbiased, your source for no-spin coverage on the Sudbury Wolves, Sudbury 5, Sudbury Cyclones, and Sudbury Cubs with Rick and Craig. Hello, sports fans. Craig here, and we're just in our recording studio a few minutes after Canada's Game 2 performance against Qatar. And for those of you who watched, it was a Canadian clinic. Destruction of Qatar, 6-0. And the game was as one-sided as the score indicated. Canada went on its front foot from the opening whistle, and it was only a matter of time before the black-clad Canadians started popping in goals. And it started with Kyle Larin in the 16th minute. Jonathan David then popped 2 goals in the 29th minute and in first half stoppage time. 3-0 Canada, and they were on their way. The crowd in BC Place was rollicking. They were having the time of their lives. And then came the second half, and I wondered if Canada would slack off, but there was no slackness today. The game was marred by one horrific injury, and that was the injury to Ismail Kone. Ismail Kone went down on a very hard, dirty challenge, and he went off seriously injured on a stretcher. Serious leg injury, looks to me like maybe a broken leg. Let's hope not. But I would say that Ismail Kone's World Cup is over. That's a tough blow for Canada. Kone is one of Canada's best players, and he will be sorely missed. The good news about this Canadian team that, unlike the Qatar World Cup in 2022, this team has better depth. And Nathan Saliba came on to replace Ismail Kone, and a couple of moments after he came on, he got his own goal in the 64th minute. A beautiful strike off a set piece, off the post and in. 4-0, Canada was in cruise control. Qatar was defending 11 versus 9. 2 Qataris got sent off. They played nasty, dirty football, and frankly, they were a disgrace. Canada made it 5-0 in the 75th minute on a Qatari own goal, and Jonathan David put the cherry on the ice cream with his third goal, a hat trick in second half stoppage time. How bad was the Canadian demolition? It was this bad. Canada had 32 shots at goal, 10 on target. Qatar, 2 shots on goal, none on target. Maxime Crepeau could have been in a lawn chair. That's how dominant Canada was today. Give Canada full marks. This team was being underestimated, being doubted by people. Was this team good enough? Was this team hungry enough? Did they have the killer instinct? Well, today I think they answered all 3 questions. Yes, yes, and yes. They were plenty good enough. They put on all kinds of pressure. Tajon Buchanan made the back line for Qatar look silly. He was turning them inside out and making them like pretzels. Jonathan David and Kyle Larin put together back in the starting lineup. They were fantastic. They combined in the box. They were terrors. There was no one in a Qatari shirt that could contain them. And it was that type of a game. This was almost a perfect game by Canada. What could you want more? The only thing that marred it was the serious injury. But aside from that, what happened on the field was complete Canadian domination. Every player in that Canadian side today played like their life depended on it. And it did. They needed to win. They needed to win by a big margin because Switzerland had defeated Bosnia-Herzegovina 4-1. Canada had to win by at least 4 goals to get first place in the group going into the match day 3 tilt against Switzerland. And Canada did not disappoint. Canada played with pride. They played with passion. They played with energy. And the only game that was better or as good as this game today was the game in the 2025 Gold Cup when Canada throttled Honduras 6-0. It was like this game, but this game had more on the line because it was on the world stage with everyone watching. And don't think that there weren't scouts in Europe that were looking at some of these Canadian players and going, hey, these Canadian guys, they can really play. If you don't think they can play, all you had to do was watch tonight. The Qataris, well, I have to tell you, I was very disappointed in their coaching staff. They sent their guys out to do mayhem, and mayhem they did. And when Ismail Kone went down, you could see the Canadian team. They were crying. They were in tears because they know how much Ismail Kone has gone through to get to where he is. and now his World Cup is over, and his career, well, who knows? Hopefully he'll have a speedy recovery, but you never know. Look how much Moise Bombito has come back from dealing with his broken leg. It was good to see Bombito get 45 minutes in the second half. It was low stress, thank goodness, and he really wasn't pressed. But everyone on a Canadian shirt, they should be proud. They made the country proud. They made themselves proud, and they made Jesse Marsh proud. And Jesse Marsh, after the game, he was like a proud father. Look at those kids. He cried. Look at those kids. Well, Jesse, I hate to tell you, these guys aren't kids. They're men, and they're Canadian men. And now you understand. You put a Canadian in a tough spot. Canadians don't cower. Canadians don't go into the corner. Canadians come out swinging. They come out playing. They come out dancing. And they come out and they play soccer. And they played it well today. So Canada moves to the top of the group, 4 points. They're in first place. They have the goal differential over Switzerland, +6 for Canada, +3 for Switzerland. This sets up a tremendous match next Wednesday, again at BC Place. Switzerland versus Canada. First place in the group on the line. Switzerland looked impressive in the late going of their game today, but they weren't as impressive as Canada was against Qatar. If you like what you're hearing, hit like and subscribe, and let the sports be with you.